Couple of years down the road, you you wake up, you walk over to your computer. First thing that you do when you wake up every morning lately has been going to your computer. Before you even use the bathroom, before you're even like fully awake, you get out of bed and you like sometimes you come to as you're like halfway across your bedroom, walking towards your computer with both your hands
Just
out like
sleepwalking
a yeah, you
like
both
a
your hands are
mummy.
like a mummy. Yeah.
God damn.
And you're
Why?
like, what? You need to get on Twitter or what
What?
some call X.
Why? I don't.
So normally you're not like a huge Twitter guy, but you need to check at like the trending topics.
Why?
You just want to see if like, just want to see what's up. You go there, you check the trending topics, and right at probably like number five in the Los Angeles area, trending topic is hashtag release the Brooks cut. You recorded a comedy special with a like a record company that turned out were sort of like unscrupulous,
Okay.
and they took the special that you recorded, and they really they edited it and they did a very bad job with it and kind of like mangled everything.
That sucks. Why wouldn't I just
Yeah.
have somebody else re-edit? Somebody I trust.
Well,
Dustin.
you signed a contract with them without even like reading it.
Why the fuck would I do that, Pat? Why do you do this to me? Like, why would I sign a contract that would govern such like a an important part of my life without even fucking reading it?
So because you gave it to your lawyer and he kind of like put off reading it to the last second, and he got diarrhea really badly, and so he like ran to the bathroom with it and like flipped through it, and he was like, yeah, no, this is fine. Like he didn't really.
Well, then that's a dereliction of duty on his part. Like that, then I have like some legal recourse for that because that's
Yeah.
just fuck. I wouldn't have signed a contract without reading it,
So
Pat.
you take him to like court for this,
Yeah.
and the judge sides with him under
Why?
the people start referring to it as the diarrhea doctrine. What it is it says that you can't be
What
held
the
liable. You can't be held liable for decisions made uh, while you have diarrhea because you kind of, for obvious reasons,
So I'm just
So
fucked. Basically, is what happens here. My lawyer gets away with it. The record label gets away with it. I'm just fucked.
a tale as old as time out here in Hollyweird. So
This sucks.
they put out your special. Uh, you named it Soft White Underbelly, and
Oh,
they
why? It's so gross.
you just thought it was kind of cool.
I don't.
So you and they edited it and kind of like moved some things around, and they just did a very bad job with it. And there are people on the internet who are because because like people have asked you about it, you've been on podcasts and been interviewed, and you're like you just basically say like, yeah, like the editing was not done by me, like I don't know why this came out as poorly as it did. And so people are like, so you're saying there's a Brooks cut? And you're like, yeah. And so
Who the fuck is
there's been
invested in what I'm doing to the point that this trends on Twitter? I'm
so
a nobody.
so in the LA area, there are two, I guess, like very intense fan groups. One of them is called the Cult of Brooks, and the other one is called the Brooks Society. They
Oh
are
no.
two like kind of I don't want to say competing fan groups, but they do not like each other.
This is a deep cut.
And when they heard about this whole thing that went down for the first time in history, in the fan base's history, they united under hashtag release the Brooks cut. And they're very vocal about how like, yeah, we're teaming up, but only for this one thing. And after that, we're done. But I don't know, man. They're starting to figure out that they have a lot more in common than they don't, you know?
What the fuck
So
does that even mean?
so you're feeling pretty good, you know? You're feeling like there's getting a lot of also like, friends of yours are retweeting about it, Some of them have pretty big accounts. So it's getting more eyes on it, you know? And so you're thinking to yourself like, man, like how cool would it be to be able to release soft white underbelly in the way that I wanted it to be seen, you know? And so you basically you log on that morning and you see that you're still in like top 5. You have a DM um from the record company, the people that like, recorded the special and put it out. Uh they're called Comedy Enterprises. And so Comedy Enterprises DMs you and they're like, "All right, Aaron, we know that there's like this big traction on you, even though we think we did a damn good job with this.
Nobody does. Nobody does. And like the contract thing is not your fault. I trusted a lawyer who got diarrhea, and so his judgment during that brief window is, put on hold by the courts. So
Yeah,
I'm just fucked in this. I trusted a lawyer, and I'm fucked. And you guys won't even let me you won't even let me take a look at it and see what I can do, because I think I could do a better job, and which is more representative of what I'm going for than what's currently been put out there.
they go, "All right, Aaron, the internet has spoken, I guess. We're going to allow you to put together your own version of it." They're like, "We're
Great.
passing it along to you. Like, it should show up, it's like a large file, so we have to do one of those like
File
what do you
share
call?
thing,
Yeah, file share thing. So,
Dropbox or whatever.
yeah. And so Comedy Enterprises is like, "All right, Aaron. Well, wish we could say it was fun working with you. Here you go. Good
Thank
luck to
you.
you."
Thanks.
Click. So you're sitting there and it is a pretty
First
large
off,
file. Yeah.
I would talk to my, I would call my lawyer.
So you call your lawyer, it rings twice. The secretary answers the phone. "Yes, hello. This is Pete Seeger. Not that one. uh and you are calling the law offices of Jackson Renegade, the attorney who fucks. How may I direct your call?"
I'd want to just talk to my lawyer, please.
He goes, "Absolutely. Who can I say is calling to rock his world today?"
Aaron Brooks.
He's like, "Aaron." He's like, "I
Just
saw your
please send
special."
me through. Thank you. Great. I appreciate it. I have an urgent matter I need to speak to my lawyer about.
He goes, "Absolutely." And he thinks that he like mutes himself, but he doesn't. And he's like, "I didn't say it was good. I just said I saw it." Transfers your
I can
call.
say, God, I'm so pissed.
You transfers your call. Jackson Renegade is like, "Hello, this is Jackson Renegade, the attorney who fucks. How can I help you today, my man?"
Jackson, this is Aaron. I just gained the right to edit my special from the record label. I want you to get that updated in our contract right
He's
as
like,
soon as possible.
he goes, "Aaron, luckily for you, my 3 o'clock died on the way to see me. So I got some time." He's like, "Well, I'll do it right now, man." And so he gets it updated and stuff. And the contract states that you own this. Basically, it's like, yeah, affirming your ownership of soft white underbelly
Oh, they
and gives
transferred
you,
ownership over to me,
they transferred it
not
all.
just okay, gotcha. So now I can do whatever I want with it. I don't have to like. I was just wanting an opportunity to edit it to show my cut,
You,
but they're giving me the whole thing.
they're like, yeah, for you to self release. So like, we wash our hands of this. Like, if you think you can
Okay.
do a better job, Go right ahead, you know? And so Jackson, Renegade, the attorney who fucks, gets everything so that you own it, you have the right to distribute it, and blah 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 blah, basically.
Yeah.
And so you you hear like from your computer like files done, and you're like, hell yeah. You walk over and you go to like edit your special, and you basically play the raw footage from the beginning, and because you're thinking to yourself like, I mean, I know it went better than like the way that they edited this. Like I know it did,
Yeah.
but you have this small kernel of doubt in the back
Of
of your
course.
fucking skull where you're like, well, maybe it actually is bad. And so you sit down and you watch the raw footage, and within 5 minutes, you're like, no, it was fucking right. This is awesome. It's a really great. You're like, how could they have fucked this up? Type of thing. And so you go to like edit it, like you move the file or whatever, and right as you do that, you like spill like water on
Are
your
you
computer,
fucking kidding me?
and the file is lost forever.
What the fuck, Pat? Pat,
So
I'm
you
taking this to like somewhere to like recover these files.
okay. So you take it. There's this new place that opened up near you. It's called uh computational fixings. It's a place that you take your computer and hardware and stuff, electronics get looked at, but the inside is done up in the style of like an old timey like trading post, you know what I mean? Like an old general store in like the 1800s or whatever.
You're dealing
So,
with like delicate electronic equipment.
well, just yeah, the inside is yeah. They deal with actual electronics, but the inside is just an aesthetic, you know what I mean? But even like the back offices are like that.
That sucks.
Just a lot of wood.
Yeah.
So you go there to drop off your computer, and there's like an old the people who work there are dressed like old prospectors and stuff, you know. So he's like, I'll go ahead and take this, and like he takes it to the back and stuff. And you wait around, and about 45 minutes later, he walks back out drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
He walks up to you. He dropped character long ago. You know what I mean? He's like, Mr. Brooks, hi. We did everything that we could, but the file's gone forever.
What the fuck, man?
He's like, I'm really sorry. He's like, that must have been a really tall glass of water. He takes out a bottle of water and like drinks from it. Then he realizes what he's doing. He goes, oh, and like hides it behind his back. He's like, sorry, man.
I don't fucking care. I don't
And
care.
he's like,
I just want
anyway.
my file.
He's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. That'll be $75. So you pay him and you
Can't
fucking
I like
leave.
re-download it from whatever email it was sent from?
So you go to do that, and they were so wanting to just get rid of this thing that they
Are you
deleted it
fucking kidding me?
entirely on their end as well.
Are you fucking serious?
So you're kind of like,
I'd
at this
email them
point,
back and I'd say, hey, I something messed up with my computer. I didn't get that. Can you send that over to me, please?
they're like, sorry, Aaron, like we
Are you
we
fucking
deleted it.
kidding me, Pat?
They're like, that's why we gave it to you. It's yours. They're like, I'm sorry to hear about this, but you know.
Whatever.
So at this point, you're like really, really just kind of fed up with the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know,
The
you're in.
diarrhea doctrine.
It set a precedent, like a legal. So like it's your name is in the history books.
Great.
So you're kind of fed up with like this whole thing. You're like, I just need to try something new, you know?
Sure.
So you become a watchmaker and watch repairer. You call yourself a watchman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you were staying up late one night, uh, and you were just like so like just bummed out, and you're like, what am I gonna do next? Like I just can't keep this thing keeps just kicking me and kicking me and kicking me, and like I just can't do it, you know? And then you look over and on your like the top of your dresser, it's a full moon outside, and the moonlight like kind of glints off of this old watch that you'd found earlier that day. And you just kind of put it up there without even thinking about it, you know?
Just find a watch.
You just find a watch. And you're like, I mean, it's never you've never seen it before, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, it must have belonged to the previous tenant who left under mysterious circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was this yeah, you had asked about it because you were like you were still getting like his mail, you know? And so you went to your apartment complex and you asked the person working there, like, hey, I keep getting the mail for this guy. Looks like his name is Justin. Justin Time.
Just in time.
Yeah. And so they're like they're like, "Oh, Justin, yeah. Yeah." So you're a little weirded out by that, but you're
What
like,
the fuck does
whatever.
that mean?
It's
What do you want me to do with all this goddamn mail? Just in time?
because he was the last, you know, he was the
Yeah.
tenant, so people didn't know they may not know his new address, you know. And so
Okay.
this
Well, the apartment complex needs to do something about that, or I'm just gonna throw this shit away.
well, that's what you end up doing. So
Great.
you see like the moonlight, like I said, glint off of that watch that you found earlier. It was in the toaster. You found it in the toaster. You went over to like make yourself this new thing that you call waffles at night. And so you like you walked over to it and you're like, I eat my waffles at night because I love them so. And you walk over to the toaster and you're like, what the hell? It's like a watch in here. And you pull it out and you're like, this is fucking weird. You put on your dress
How the
here and
fuck
you
did a
don't really.
watch get on my goddamn in my goddamn toaster? A watch that I don't recognize. It's a stranger's watch in my fucking toaster.
Yeah. And you're a little weirded out, but those waffles were calling your name. So you didn't put much thought to it. You kind of forgot that it happened, to be honest with you. And so waffles, or sorry, Eggo waffles have put out this they brought back, did you ever have those waffles where it's like waffles, but they're filled with like
No.
yeah, well they had those for a
Waffle.
while. Yeah, it was a real thing called Wa Dash Fulls. I used to eat them with Will Baynard all the time. And they're waffles where the inside of them there's like strawberry or like chocolate or like whatever. And
Oh, okay.
so they've brought it back and they have a new flavor called Birthday Party, and you cannot wait to try it. So you're singing your waffle song and you see the watch, you're like, whatever, you kind of put it to the side. The moonlight glints off of that fucking watch,
Yeah.
and you look over at it and you notice that the watch for a second has like a face, like a human face.
Fuck do you mean it has a human face, Pat? How does a watch have a human face?
Like the face of a watch, you know?
There's a human face in place of where the dial of numbers is.
Yeah, looking out at you and it just says to you in a low voice, you can fix me, Aaron. You can fix everything. And you wake up, it was all a dream. So after that dream, you decided, like, for some reason, you felt like watch repairing and watchmaking was like calling you, you know?
That sucks. I find where do why would I found a watch in my a toaster in my own home?
But it was all a dream.
This
There really
sucks.
there really was a just in time, but the whole watch thing was just a an inspirational dream that you had. And so you open like a storefront downtown.
So I didn't even really have an inspirational moment. I had a dream of an inspirational moment, and it
Yeah.
was so inspiring that I opened up a business in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You just felt very affected by this dream.
And it's a
Also,
watch repair place.
also in the dream, you're like you're like dick was like way bigger than it is in real life.
All right.
So maybe that's why like the dreams like stuck with you so intensely. So you start this like like I said, the watch repair place. And you also
What do I call it?
just watch me.
Just watch me. Just watch me is
It's
the
a mess.
name of my watch repair store.
It's a message to the haters, but it also lets people know that like, it's a watch store. And this is after like, you went to like a watch school, like you were a watch apprentice for a while, a watch apprentice to this like just crazy old man, this crazy old watchmaker, Augustus Julius.
This is Julius.
Yeah, he is known as like people call him Augustus Caesar because he is that good of a watch repair. The only problem that he has is that he has like a really shitty attitude towards his like apprentices and stuff.
Yeah.
And he liked you though because like you were like you were the first one to stand up to him in like a long time, and he was like, "I like you, kid." And so
Oh,
he stopped like openly insulting you, but he was never nice. You know what I mean? He just had your
yeah.
like you had his grudging respect, and to be honest with you, that's as far as anyone can get with this guy. So you learned your craft from him. You had a very intense like 3 week apprenticeship with this guy. And so and he kind of like I said, he put you through the fucking ringer, dude. And but at the end of your 3 weeks, he was like, "Kid, I was rough on you these last 3 weeks, but it's only because I see something in you." He's like, "Aaron, this is a torch passing moment. I think I think my best days are behind me." It's like I pass along the title of Watchmaster to you. You, you.
I am the watch master.
Yeah. It's a title that the best watch repairman in town gets, and they
Oh
get to like
man,
upon their death they get to like bequeath it to somebody else. Death or
man.
retirement.
I've learned a lot in these last 3 weeks.
It was a very intense 3 weeks, yeah. And so he gives you the title. You guys celebrate that night. He takes you to some like fucking like dive bar where everyone there knows him. You guys like, you hang out with him for like an hour or two,
Sure.
talk watches. He goes home that night and just dies in his sleep.
Jesus Christ.
So just watch me is doing pretty well, you know,
Yeah, in spite of its name.
in spite of the name, but it has a inside the A in WATCH, there's like a fucking like clock, So people are like, huh? Like, wow, look at that design. It's very eye catching. You did a great job. So you're hanging out one day and just watch me, and you're working on a particularly intense watch repair job.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy, he's not really certain how he did this, but he accidentally got of his false tooth stuck inside a watch. And so
How?
but the watch
There's
was
not
already open.
there's not enough room for a false tooth inside of a watch.
So it's what it's so you're like working on it and
So wait, he got it stuck inside of the watch, which means he would have had to have had the watch open,
yeah, the watch was already open.
and he dropped his tooth in there
Yeah.
and he sealed it back up.
No, he just like brought the watch to you. And so
I,
you had to extract the tooth from the wiring, the inside of the watch. And so
Unbelievable,
and
Pat.
you and you do, dude. Like it takes you a while and you send everyone home for the day. And you put like you change the store door from like open to closed, because you're like you really have to concentrate on this. So you extract the tooth and you look at it, and even though it's false, it's so real looking to you. And for a moment, you almost have a
Yeah,
sense of like unreality looking at this thing because you're
yeah,
like, if this tooth isn't real, then what is being real?
yeah.
There's a knock on the front door. You're like, we're closed. The door opens.
Why? How? Did I forget to lock it?
No, you locked it, but
Why the
the door opens. And standing there is this guy. He is the baldest man that you have ever seen in your fucking life,
what the fuck again?
to the point that it's in stark contrast to almost everything else on this planet. You know what I mean?
No.
He has a very hairless, perfectly round dome. He's got icy blue eye, the color of the waves that drowned Atlantis. He's kind of like smiles at you a little bit, this guy. This bald man with the frightening eyes. And you see that he's got like rows upon rows of like shark teeth. You know what I mean? Very, very sharp, serrated, almost blades. And he is wearing, without a doubt, the sharpest suit that you have ever seen in your fucking
It's
life.
not an attribute you would assign to a suit.
But it is sharp. You forget about those teeth immediately. He says to you, "Hello, Aaron. My name is Ice Bones Jones, head of communication for the Lanalax Corporation. I understand that you fix watches here."
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, I have a bit of a job for you." And he kind of like opens his hand and like a watch on a chain like tumbles out. You know what I mean?
Pocket watch.
A pocket watch, yeah. And it comes down, and for a second, the chain that it's on, it comes down so quickly and so intensely that the chain is like going in circles. And for like just a second, it resembles like the double helix of DNA.
Yeah.
And
Jesus Christ.
for just a moment, you look at the chain on this man's watch and you see the building blocks of life itself. He's like, yeah. So as you can see, he like kind of like he doesn't come close to you or anything. The door's shut behind him, but he doesn't like come towards you or anything. But he unfurls that watch and he goes, and it kind of like continues to like move in a circle, but he kind of
Sure.
like looks at it for a second and it stops moving and it's facing out towards you. And you see that there's a little bit of like a scratch on it. He's like, Icebones Jones says, I accidentally scratched up this timepiece. I got it for my 25-year anniversary of working at the Lanalax Corporation. quite some time ago. It's not worth a lot, but it means quite a bit to me. It's like I saw your sign that you were closed, but I was hoping you could make an exception and maybe just fix this watch for me. He smiles at you, but there is no joy in that smile.
I would tell him, say, I'm in the middle of something right now. That's why the door was closed and locked. And in spite of you somehow being able to get in, I would have to complete this project before I start on anything else.
And he looks down and he goes, "It looks complete to me. You've extracted the tooth."
Yeah, but I got to sew this thing back up. I got to get it cleaned up. I got to talk to the customer. I got to take their payment. I got job's not done.
Yeah.
I'm a small business owner. I wear a lot of hats around here that just watch me. But once
He
I'm done
uh
with that, I'd be happy to take a look.
uh he takes out his phone and he like you see him like tapping a few buttons. Your phone rings. You answer it immediately. It's that customer. He's like, "Oh, hello, Aaron. Um, hey, if you need to pause, let's just not put a rush job on that thing that you got. Anyway,
I'd say
just calling to check on it. How's it
it,
looking?"
everything's great. I was going to call you to let you know that it's should be wrapped up here, ready to go. I would assume here I should have it done within the next 30 minutes.
He
And then you
goes,
can come down and pay or, pay your statement online.
definitely. He goes, how about like an hour? I'll be down in an hour. You can take a break. It doesn't, he gulps, matter. You
I
look
go, no, I
down
got a
and
couple things
like
to do before I'm done.
you look
Once I'm
down
done, I'll be done.
the payment for the watch repair, $69.99 has been like deposited to like your bank account or whatever.
Okay. I still got to close this thing up. I gotta get it cleaned.
He goes, yeah, don't even worry about it.
You know, you paid me for a service. I'm gonna insist.
He's like,
I'm the best watchmaker in town, or I'm the best watch repair place in town. We have a way of doing things. You want our services, you're gonna have to abide by, those standards that we set.
so he goes,
I'll finish this and help this strange man.
okay. He hangs up. So, Icebones Jones goes, well, I'll just sit here and wait.
How about you leave because the door was locked and closed? How about you leave and you come back in an hour?
And he kind of like looks at you and he goes, all right. He leaves.
Great. I take care of the other customer first.
So you get everything done with that. You get it like cleaned and like repackaged and everything. And the guy had actually asked you to like put the watch back together. He's like, I don't know why I left it open like that. Was bound to collect a tooth eventually. And so put the thing
Yeah,
back together as well.
naturally. Put the tooth in
You,
like a little bag. I'm sure I got a little bag.
yeah, you have a bag there that says, just watch me. And underneath it, there's like a picture of you like winking.
No, no.
And so you put it down. You look up, and standing in front of you is Icebones Jones. His head looks, you actually forgot how bald he was when you saw the suit, but he is so bald that you get goosebumps. And I'm not talking the R.L. Stein books.
Goosebumps.
He goes, oh, Mr. Brooks, were you ready to fix my watch?
Yeah. I go next time when the door says locked or closed, or places not in service, you should probably abide by that. What you did was very rude. I
He
was in the
goes,
middle of something and it could have waited. It was closed for a reason.
he kind of like nods and he's like, Aaron, you're absolutely right. I cannot apologize enough.
I take the watch from him and I see, is this a repair of a broken part or is this a replacement of a broken part?
So you look down at it and it's made of
Replacement of
like,
a broken part.
you start humming that to yourself as you look down at it. and you realize that the glass that it's made out of is like of a very fine, very malleable type of glass that you have never seen before. And you kind of like look at it and you're like, maybe I can like buff this out. And you have like a little like buffing thing that you use, and
Yeah.
you like very lightly, almost as if the first time you touch your lover,
Gross.
very gently, yet very determinedly, you start like buffing it, and it like comes out immediately. It comes out within like 2 minutes of you doing that.
Okay.
You hand it over to him. He accepts it. He like looks at it. He goes, Aaron, this looks as beautiful as the day I got it.
Great. It's a nice watch.
He pays you 69.99. He's like, appreciate it, Aaron, and thank you for seeing me after hours.
Of
He
course.
he walks out, opens the door and closes it. And you're like, well, that was weird. You pack up, you go home that night, and you turn on the TV, and you see the news that the president has fired 85% of the nuclear weapons that the United States has available, has just like fired them at like every major country
What?
in the world.
Why?
And there's a press conference of the president. Uh, this is a few years down the road. So the president is like this new guy, politician on the scene, kind of come from nowhere. His name is Chet Lightning,
Oh
and he's like,
no.
and he's like, I did it because I wanted to.
Fucking hate Chet Lightning.
And everyone's like, why are you talking like that? And it turns out that Icebones Jones used the watch to hypnotize the president into deploying all of the
You
nuclear
fucking kidding
arsenal.
me?
And
And he couldn't have
eventually,
done it without me.
yeah. And about like, and so it starts like this whole like, uprising in America against him and stuff. And it turns into this like whole crazy thing. They do like a paper trail, and they're eventually able to figure out that you were the one who fixed it. Uh,
Yeah.
you're brought before like a tribunal.
Well, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I ran, just watch me, home with the 69.99 watch repair.
And they find you guilty of like
Fuck
work
this.
of like being an accomplice to like this horrible terrorist act that happened.
I
And
repaired a watch. I'm a watch repairman. I'm the watch master.
they hang you from a fucking streetlight in downtown Los Angeles
Jesus Christ.
in front of where you worked, where Just
I'm
Watch
the
Me was.
watch master.
And you go down as the Watchmaster of Doom in history.
Jesus Christ.
Civilization crumbles about 100 years later.
Fuck this. That sucked. I fixed the fucking watch.
Yeah. And it was used to cause, nuclear holocaust.
Whatever.